how to get an answer from God about a big decision. So there are so many decisions that we have to make in life, so many, I feel like really pivotal decisions that need to be made, especially like as we're getting college age and getting married and moving and decisions with our kids and jobs. Um, Having that specific answer from Heavenly Father that yes, you're going in the right direction makes everything go smoothly. In my mind, it helps me have more faith and take those steps forward, knowing like, okay, I'm on the right track. So how do we get those? How do we get that answer from God about a big decision? I'm a storyteller, so of course I have a story about this. When John and I were living in Florida, we got to live right next door to Disney World. It was amazing. We had so much fun. We were only planning on living there for about a year, but we loved it so much we decided to stay another year. And as that second year was wrapping up, we were getting ready to go. We knew it was time to leave and to move, but certain things weren't happening. We needed some things financially to happen. We needed some things to really fall into place to go. And they weren't happening. Those things were not falling into place. So, so we were kind of floundering a little bit, thinking like, okay, well, should we go? Like maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should stay here. It just felt like this huge decision that we needed to make, and we needed to make it quickly because we had to tell our apartment complex whether we were staying or leaving. And so in this kind of dilemma of season that we were trying to figure things out, we went in. We were in a congregation. It's called a ward, and the bishop of our ward. We were both meeting with him for some reason. I can't remember why. But we were both talking with the bishop in his office, and John just happened to just mention, like, we weren't going to talk to him for anything specific, but he happened to mention to the bishop that we were trying to get some answers, get some questions answered from Heavenly Father, but we just like weren't getting it. And so our bishop was inspired and counseled us to do this. He said, what you should do is make a list of questions that you have for God. So just like literally like write them on paper, all the questions. And when you have those questions, instead of praying together as a couple, pray separately in two different spots, like pray alone about these exact same questions. And when you get an answer, write down the answer, and then come back together as a couple and go over your answers together. And if your answers don't coincide, then go back and pray separately again and keep talking to Heavenly Father until your answers are the same. And John and I had prayed together as a couple, and we'd prayed together, and we prayed separately, obviously, but in our own personal prayers. But I never thought about praying specifically about the exact same questions and then coming back together. So John and I left, and we did it. We wrote down exactly what we needed to know. And kind of on a side note there, like when I'm talking to Heavenly Father, sometimes I need to break down the questions that I ask him very specifically. Like instead of just, when should we move? That's actually like several questions. Like one question could be, number one, or like, instead of saying like, when should you move to Colorado? The question that we really need to break down and ask are like, should we move? Yes or no? If it's yes, should we move to Colorado? When should we move? Like all of these, instead of just like, when should we move to Colorado? That could be nuanced to be, the answer maybe is, yes, you should move, but you should move to Nebraska. Or the answer could be, yes, you should move to Colorado, but not until 2 months, or, So I find that if I can break down my questions to Heavenly Father, like very specifically, instead of just one big lump, like it helps me be able to kind of tune into him and get some specific answers. But back to John and I praying separately. So we made our list to Heavenly Father of the things that we needed answered. And then we separately went and prayed. And we both came back when we were done, and we were going over the answers together, and they all aligned beautifully. They all aligned. We actually didn't need to go back and pray again because all of our answers matched. And it was such an opportunity to be able to really like talk to Heavenly Father and know that we were getting heard because we were both getting the same answer. Actually, we ended up getting the answers that we needed and we moved forward. And then when we were moving again, so we moved to Nebraska from there. And when we wanted to move from Nebraska to Colorado, we did the same thing. When we got to Nebraska, we were kind of got stuck there a little bit. Like we got stuck in doubt and fear and we wanted to move to Colorado, but just felt fearful and scared to do it. And so we got stuck there for a little bit. And so the thought of like just doing it and going was scary to us. Like we needed that confirmation from Heavenly Father to really like move us forward. And so we had gone out to Colorado over spring break and like checked it out. We loved it so much. We wanted to go so bad. And when we came back, John and I did the praying together or writing down our questions for Heavenly Father, praying separate and then coming back together thing. And the question that we had about moving specifically to this one area, Heavenly Father brought a story back to both of us separately while we were praying. He had us recall this story in our minds about this experience that had happened. And when we got back together and we're going over our answers, we both said, oh, Heavenly Father brought this story to my mind. And John was like, oh my gosh, that's the exact same story that he brought to my mind. And that it was just this like flood of like, oh yes, okay, he hears us and it's a yes, like we can move forward. And it just like brought this huge dose of faith, I guess you could say, and helped me to know, even though it was going to be hard and there was things that we didn't know how it was going to work out, we still started and moved forward. So that is one way that John and I can make big decisions, talking to Heavenly Father and know that they are right, is by making the list, praying separately, and talking together. And if you're single or if you don't have somebody that you could do that with, still make your list and talk to Heavenly Father. Making a list has just been a game changer for me of keeping me on track and helping me get the answers or have the questions and get the answers that I really need from Heavenly Father. But making your list individually and praying and getting that. But if you do have a spouse, I would really encourage you to do this exercise together. And it's really going to help you with those big decisions and any small ones. It doesn't have to be just the big decisions. It can be small ones too. So I hope this helps you move forward. I hope it helps you get closer to God. He is there for you. He wants to hear from you. He loves you so much. You are his child. And I know that and I feel that. And I just want to share that and make sure that other people know that too. And I hope you know that and feel that today.